G'day, good evening, and welcome to the 2024 Volunteer Forum Highlights Extravaganza. What a year it has been. The team and I have been travelling far and wide, from Pomona to Bright, Apollo Bay to Cobram, to bring you the latest on everything that's been going on in CFA. I want to take this opportunity to thank each and every brigade that has allowed us to come into your space to be able to put on the Volunteer Forum. And a big thanks to those that put on a great feed afterwards, because there's been some really awesome suppers and opportunities to talk to our members, which I've absolutely fulsomely enjoyed. We are now into the third year of our monthly live-streamed forums, and this year has been jam-packed. Tell you what, that might sound a bit familiar.
What a jam-packed agenda. Jam-packed agenda again tonight. Well, a jam-packed agenda as always.
Jam-packed?
Jam-packed. We've got a jam-packed agenda.
What a jam-packed event that we're going to be having tonight. So let's have a look at some of the most popular segments from 2024. Vehicle tours are always an audience favourite, and you love looking at the equipment, how we put it together, and some of the real initiatives, things that our engineering departments and teams across CFA put forward. And we started this year in Apollo Bay, where I put the hard questions to Captain David Howe.
I think we've had this truck for 3 years, or I'm only guessing, I can't remember now, but anyway, a little while, but it's basically brand new, and she's a good truck. She's got everything on it that we need, and yeah, I can't really fault it. I don't really have any bad things to say about it. It's good.
Very good. I'm sure Rick was very happy to hear you say that. So we've got the Lucas tools. These are the saltwater tools.
Yeah, that's correct. Yep. We've got spreader and combi tool and cutter there, and then we've got hydraulic line tools up in the next shelf there, which a few rams and cutters and bits and pieces, and airbags, hydraulic lines up the top, portable hydraulic pump over here, and then airbag controls and hoses and bits and pieces. And
so for some that might be watching, might be asking, you've got all the battery gear on the truck. Why are we still carrying the hydraulic gear?
I don't know. Good question, really.
Redundancy is the answer.
Well, okay, there you go. Yeah. Someone forgot to tell me that word, but anyway, no. All right, redundancy. There we go. That's the answer.
Look, and I guess that's the key. Is you never know what you're going to go to.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. and many of our rescue brigades have seen quite significant accidents from buses right through to the simple of accidents, and we want to make sure that we've got. The leading technology in the battery operated tools, but you never know, as you say, that if the battery's flat or something happens, then we can always go to the hydraulic.
Figured out the answer. If we're 3.5 metres underwater, we've got to use these ones, because these only go to 3 metres. So
and I'd suggest if you're 3.5 metres underwater, you're in more trouble than Batman.
So the standard CFA side-by-side unit, which were, I think back in the day, are available on VSEP grants for brigades and groups to purchase. As I said, there was 2 in Southwest region. They originally came with a drip torch that came out the back, and over the years there's been a few issues and CFA safes put in because the vehicles can get stuck on rocks and tree stumps. So to try and make it safer for operators' use, we came across one of these at a burn last year, and we've been trialling it so the fire comes out the side rather than from the rear, and it allows us just to travel on the mineral earth brake or on the road, and it's much safer for the operator. And trial so far, it's been used probably 5 or 6 times over the last couple of weeks with fairly good success, so no issues.
Look, it's great to be here in Cobram this evening to give our members, or most of you, a first look at a next generation 2,000 litre 4x4 crew cab chassis. Joining me tonight is one of our engineering project managers, Matthew Chick. What was the genesis for this project?
So the main point is we're looking to replace 2,000 litre tankers, single cabs, such as 2.2 and 2.4Ds. But we need to get something that can fit in the stations. So primary role, firefighting, bushfires, scrub fires, running grass fires, and that urban support. Main features, 2,000 litre crew cab, improve access, grab handles, ultra high pressure pump, which is 20 litres a minute. We've got our low pressure pump at 450, Yeah, so this is the 1 metre high sides with the positive latching door. So we can open that up. We've also got the new crew deck awning. So this one comes from the tank forward. Can help in the entrapment situation.
I see down here, Matt, there's a vehicle charge point. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, for sure. So we're trialling electric chainsaws on this, and we need to work out a way to manage the battery. So charge point on here, it's a magnetic one, which reduces the risk of the 240 volts on trucks.
And I see a suction hose down there. I take it that's a pre-connected suction hose?
It is standard on all our tankers, from ultralights all the way up to ultra heavies. So a change for light tankers, this one has a ladder storage, but also on display here's the pump with the ultra high pressure pump running off the front of it. So on the back here you can see improved livery. So we've got the chevron, which is the accepted rear livery. We've been able to move the standpipe to the back with the new 1 metre sides, so everything's easy to grab. We've got our standard pump control in the middle, the similar buttons you would get used to, and we've got a Quenchmaster foam system, so well accepted. Off to the side here we've got our ultra high pressure reel, hose reel. So this is the same typical branch that you would see on the 24Cs, medium tankers. It's 20 litres a minute, 100 bar, fog or jet.
And do I now get the handle out and manually wind that reel back in?
No, this is an electric hose reel. Just press the button.
I'm sure that'll also make our members very happy.
So we've got the new cabin control screen, so we've got increased operation for the same amount of space, which is really helpful for us. We've got pump control, so pump start, stop, throttle up, throttle down with the pump pressure displayed. We've got water tank level, emergency lights and siren always visible. We've also got the turnout page, so when the lights are on we can see what's happening outside the truck from inside. We've got our scene light control, lights on, lights off.
And our members inside are looking at all the red and blue flashing lights out there, Matthew.
So we have two vehicles, the ute and the truck. So every time we get a call, the first two people into the shed leave with this. So this has enough on it to do any rescue pretty much. So we have 6 long duration breathing apparatus. Long duration means I can put my members, which I won't, up to 4 hours. Every time we breathe out, we're breathing out only 17% oxygen, and we've got CO2 build-up, right? So that becomes toxic at some point. So these sets have an oxygen cylinder, 99.9% pure oxygen. They have a CO2 scrubber. So every time my breath comes out, we take out the CO2 and we replace the oxygen with the pure oxygen. So pretty much you're stuck with your 5 breaths for the next 4 hours. So depending on what you had for breakfast, that's what you're tasting for 4 hours.
And that's recirculated over and it gets hot.
Yeah, it gets really hot. So we're breathing at 36.5, 37 degrees anyway. The chemical reaction in the CO2 scrubber creates heat. So we have an ice pack in there, and that sounds really cool because it cools your breath for about 30 minutes, and then it makes it less hot moving forward.
For the next 3.5 hours.
Yeah, exactly right. So we have our hard stretches, which we mainly go for. We have those there. We have our soft stretches, depending on the tasks and the jobs. We have lots of bits and pieces in there, like glow sticks and retractable lanyards and all sorts. And then around the back, our rope rescue kit. This is the stuff that gets used the most, I guess. So we have 100-metre ropes, 2 of. Then our gear, our kit bag. We also have kit in the rope bags as well. So we have more than enough kit. These are self-rescuers, so every member that goes underground or into a mine shaft or anything, they're a self-rescuer. So that's my backup device if my breathing apparatus fails or I get myself in trouble. So I pretty much open that. There's a chemical in there called KO2. The KO2 will burn. Once KO2 burns, the natural thing off that is oxygen. So that'll give me 30 minutes of oxygen if I ever need to escape, hide, run away, do whatever it's got to be. Blankets, lights, cap lamps. There's heaps of stuff on here. We'll go on the other side.
All right, well, let's make our way around. And all right, what do we got? What do we got this side?
Okay, so in this side we have all our harnesses. I think we have 12 harnesses. We have heaps more rope access kits so we can get close to stuff without hurting ourselves. We have our trauma kits, defib kits. Every operator carries his own personal first aid kit as well. And then we have our oxygen therapy kits, and then we have more spine boards, and we have more ropes. So pretty much when this vehicle turns up, we can do pretty much anything. Yep.
This locker here, we've got things like the battery-powered hacksaws, which we've actually used at a job just recently. Fantastic bit of kit. Turfers, 50-tonne jacks for lifting trucks and things like that. First emergency service in Australia to have Paratech, which is a new stabilisation. They're 4.5 tonne rated, even with the extension on. Very easy to use, retractable leads and all that stuff.
So that's so is it first in the country, CFA, to use this technology, and we've had that imported for, and we're going to be putting that on all our rescue appliances and replacing the Stabfast that's already on there. So a great achievement. We've got these pull out components, and that is all about maintaining ease of getting off, ergonomics, manual handling. So we're not leaning in anymore, we're not reaching up anymore. We're just sliding out and at waist height. Pulling off.
We are now have the mule, which is allow us to take gear to a scene, rope rescue gear. We can pack it all in that and then bring patient back if we need to. So again, manual handling, ergonomics.
And here's a really good example of that. Yep.
So the shelves slide out so we can see. This is again for EV stuff, electric safe bolt cutters, insulated bolt cutters, rated to 1,000 volts. And a new first on any of our rescue trucks is a decon locker.
So talk us through what a decontamination locker does and how it's used.
We can take our gear off, bag it in biodegradable bags, store it in here so it's away from any other clean area of the vehicle. And at the end of this whole locker can be washed out. So it drains to a point, can be totally washed down. Around the back, business end of the truck. So we have our glass management kits. We have some hoses for some live hose tools and battery-powered pumps. Again, we've done away with fuel on the vehicles and onboard power generation to save cost and make it safer for us. Tools, these line tools.
So again, waist height. Easy to be grabbed.
Take out. These ones here. This one I believe is known as the Beast. It's about 140 tonne cutting capacity. So it's not often that we're going to need that, but it's there for us.
So I've actually had a bit of a play with the Beast out the back of Epping Fire Station there. We're at their brigade event celebration and managed to have a bit of a go. So it really is the beast. We'll finish on the big one here. So let's have a look at this.
So this is again going on all these new generation rescue trucks. The work platform, which allows us to work on trucks and things like that. I'll pull that out. And again, manual handling, ergonomics. We drop it down to the user.
It's really designed to make sure that we're looking after everyone, no matter what height you might be, body shape, or the like, male, female. It really doesn't matter. We've made sure we've designed this truck to accommodate everyone.
Who doesn't love a new bit of kit? And at this year's forum, we got to have a look at, and sometimes even touch, feel, play, and try and break some of the latest gear available to CFA and its members. At the March Forum in Cobram, Shane Peacock from ICT Communications gave us a demo of the new radios that were going out across the state.
Most people will understand that these radios look a little bit different to perhaps the radios we've had in the past. The obvious one being a large touchscreen on these portable radios. We can use touchscreen with gloves to do channel changes through that. We can also use voice control to change channel. There's fantastic noise cancellation on the microphones that testing showed behind pump operators and things couldn't hear any noise, so great features on that. We also have some other added functionality such as mapping, where we can actually see our location. We can see where other radios are on the fire ground. Great for incident controllers, strike team leaders to be able to see perhaps where their trucks and radios are on the fire ground. Other little things such as night mode, as I mentioned before, voice control. We also, the key thing is they are multi-band radios, so they're not just VHF for our RMR network, they'll work on the MMR network and importantly cross-border as well with our interstate agencies. Really important to be able to have one radio that can now actually work across the borders.
Speaking to a lot of people that have been involved in the pilot, and they reckon the voice activation is the bee's knees. Do you just want to give us a bit of a demo?
Put me on the spot now. So, yeah, so channel 522.
522.
Just got it turned up there a little bit, but an automatic voice control changed it from 514 to 522. So we found the feedback from our members during the pilot was that they could leave the radio in their pocket of the PPC, change channel through the remote speaker microphone without having to pull it out. They can press the button to even verify what channel they're on. Really helped them. The large screens also helped people at night, perhaps like me that don't wear the glasses necessarily at night, just to hear what's going on. Another great feature on these, and you'll see it's brought up very quickly there, is a feature called Smart Connect, which actually has a Telstra 4G SIM card in these radios, which is something very new. So where we have an area of RMR coverage that perhaps the portable radios don't work too well due to coverage, particularly indoors, the portable radios will automatically find the Telstra 4G network and route that Viacom traffic through the radios, seamless to the user. So hopefully we can really help some of our, particularly in-building black spots and things like that.
Yeah, some real exciting news for CFA. So as of 1st of July, CFA will be starting an RPAS, or a Remote Piloted Aircraft Systems trial, commonly known as drones. It will be based at Edithvale and Rowville Brigades, as well as headquarters. As far as how the response will be, we treat these aircraft like crewed aircraft, exactly the same. So if you require the response of these aircraft, it's through Viacom. Viacom will go to the State Duty Officer and put the request in, and then we'll see from there whether they can or can't respond. Exciting news, really looking forward to rolling this program out. And as we said, if you have any inquiries, please send them to the emails. Back to you, Chief.
So, ladies and gentlemen, what you see in front of me here is one of the drones that we will be using as part of the pilot. So we'll talk you through some of the aspects of that. Obviously, the landing and takeoff mat, allowing the operator to be able to see where they're going in terms of being able to safely land and take off. About 41 minutes flight time, and 15, and it can operate in up to about 54 kilometres an hour of wind resistance. So quite a powerful device. Wide camera lens there with laser guidance as well. So quite substantial capability as far as that's concerned. Has searchlight capability as well, and really has a really good sensitive zoom feature as well. It's got another little interesting bit here, attachment to the drone, which is the spotlight itself and the megaphone or loudspeaker type contraption here. So I guess I don't want to spoiler alert if anyone hasn't seen Clarkson's farm, but one of the things that CFA won't be doing is herding sheep with barking dog noises coming from the drone. So for those people that might not know, our existing splash chutes are reusable, and they are going out of service as we go to replace them. And a lot of work's being done by Don Wilkie and the team in at head office to come up with a disposable, single-use splash suit that our members can use in a hazardous materials type situation. Brett, you used to be urban ops. Do you want to talk us through why this piece of equipment is important and some of the research and development that took into? Because I think we went and knocked on the door of a sister fire service in Australia to get the idea.
We did, thanks, Chief. And this takes me back to my urban ops days. So I've got
Captain Mel Nicholson from the Store Fire Brigade modelling the splash chute tonight, sans the BA, of course. And a lot of work's gone in behind this with Don and certainly with Rick Owen. We identified a few years ago our existing splash chute was reaching end of life. The products on the market nowadays are single use, which gives us some advantages in terms of the surety around the equipment after it's been exposed to a chemical and we put it back onto the vehicles. For us, we had a chat with Country Fire Service in South Australia, who have a very good hazmat program, and had a look at the equipment that they were using. We ran that back through our protective equipment people at the State Protective Equipment Management Centre and chatted with our AFAC partners around what was available. And we used some money that you had laying around a few years ago to purchase these, Chief, and been in a process of bringing these into service. And I think they're going to be trialled in the southeast region in coming months. Now, for Mel and I, we hadn't seen these splash chutes before tonight, but simply following the fireground practices that were in the box with the splash chute, it was pretty easy to don, and there's doffing instructions there as well. And Mel and I were just having a chat about, is it hot in there yet, Mel? No. Not too bad. Pretty easy to put on, looks like it's pretty easy to doff. The boots aren't single use, but the rest of the product is. So if we use those at a job, we'll put those away and have them disposed of appropriately and replace them.
Well, Mal, I want you to pretend you're on the runway at Milan. Give us a rundown, a little twirl on the way back, so everyone gets to see what it is and how it looks. Well done, well done.
One of them is a EV safety plug, so for the electric vehicles. This basically allows us to plug into the charge port, and it tricks the car into going into safe mode, puts the handbrake on, out of gear, turns it off. So this is a good plus, because as we know, the EVs, when they are sitting there, we don't know what state they're in, because you can't hear them. Yeah, that's...
So one for every rescue unit, and I think, how many in total?
26 in total, and over the next 2 years they'll be phased through. The next one is the Swan Guard vest, which is...
Sharon's modelling that.
Sharon's modelling.
Let's have a look, and as if Rick was here, he would say, one of the things with the Swan Guard, we are one of the first agencies in Australia to get this technology into the country.
So basically it's a fairly flexible vest that we can slip in behind a patient to aid extraction. We tighten that up. We have straps under the arms which give us room to move away from the patient, pull them up a spine board, whatever. We also have the facility with the hook. There's two of those to hook and anchor the patient to, say, a steering wheel, while we wind the seat back down, and the patient isn't, doesn't have to be restrained physically. So it's all about manual handling, and to try and minimise that sort of issue that we can have with, you grab somebody's trousers and the hand slips off. We've got something nice and solid to grab hold of.
So we might ask Sharon just to do a little bit of a turn, so we get to see the back of the Swan Guard there. So as you say, typically used for when you've got an entrapment situation.
So who doesn't love dragging a victim out of a car using a Swan Guard? But in reality, a really big thanks to all our rescue brigades. You've done a fantastic job across the state looking after Victorians when they're been involved in accidents and when they're having probably the worst day in their life. And I know big shout out to ACFO, Rick Owen, and all the team that look after our rescue brigades, whether you be the road crash rescue or the tech rescue brigades. You really do an amazing job for Victorians. Well, we almost had a mutiny on our hands, and that was at the August Forum in Beaconsfield when the juniors decided, you know what, they had enough of the chief and they were going to take the forum into their own hands. Let's have a look what the little cheeky buggers did.
As always, tell us where you're watching from. We've got Shane from Calcallo, Mandy from Gazette, Adam from Penrith, or whether you be Gary
Chief,
from Burwood.
It's Youth Fest this September, so we're taking over the forum.
Oh, hello, what's going on here?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we've been overrun by the juniors here in Beaconsfield.
You want to come this way? We have our junior team up first. So are you ready to try and beat the Chiefs team? Yeah. Who do you think's going to win?
Us, of course. Yeah.
Juniors? Juniors! Go Juniors!
We've got the Chiefs team over here. Chief,
Yeah,
What's going to happen?
Look, I've got a good feeling tonight. There's a little thing that we do at Marupna called the Chiefs Charges, but I reckon we've got some youth on the side tonight. I haven't got a handicap with a couple of DCOs with a bungnig. Don't have a bungnig here.
Experience.
He might have pulled the cart back in the day, but I've got a good feeling about tonight. We've got Rebecca here, bit of youth. I'm feeling good.
Bringing the age down a bit. And we've got the last team over here. We've got the cadets. What do you got to say? Are you ready to go?
Oh, we're going to beat them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Calm down.
We'll be number one.
On Glenn's lead.
2, 3. All right, so the chief is bowled
So
straight.
the chief is out
not
first
bad.
with the hose. And then we have the cadets. Come on, juniors.
Oh,
and
straight
the
through the
juniors
legs.
are off.
Let's hear the...
Okay.
Oh, the cadets
Now
are
to
getting the
join
water
them.
on. Oh, look at the chief stumbling.
Get ready.
What's going on?
Who will be the first?
Back up.
Who will be there? And I think we have the Chiefs team.
Let's go, juniors.
As
You've got this.
triumphant. The Chiefs team as the winners.
Well, as I always say at the start of the forums, the brigades we broadcast from remain operational during the live stream. And you know what that means? And you know when it happens, and you love it when it happens. There's always a chance an emergency can come on, the tones drop, and away they go. Well, it happened in 2023 when we were at Hoppers Crossing in District 14, and there was more action at the Beaconsfield Brigade in August. And the brigade got a call to the shed fire, which meant that we lost our backdrop from the mid-show. Well, let's have a look to see what happened.
More courses than me. He's already done his low structure course. So, you know, there's lots of things like that he's a bit of action in the background.
A bit of action, yeah.
But, you know, all of that.
For everyone at home wondering what is going on, our crews are currently responding to a structure fire at Tynong North. So many brigades responding, and they're doing a fantastic job.
One of the most popular and regular forum segments is the training updates provided by Deputy Chief Officer for Operational Doctrine and Training, Rohan Luke. The updates throughout 2024 have kept members up to date with the latest successes, achievements and challenges in the training space. And I thank Rohan and the ODT team for really working hard this year to deliver to our members what they need in the training space. If Rohan was here, he would say there's much more work to be done, and I know the team are working really hard to ensure the member experience in training is to be improved in 2025. Some of the highlights of the team are things such as implementation of the training pathway, the introduction of the General Firefighter version 2, including digital assessments and online offerings for flexibility and to delivery for the 3-day method in particular, and a big shout out to Ararat and the gang in District 16 for really bringing that to the forefront. Greater support to instructors and the delivery of 8 instructor conferences, and acknowledgement of our volunteer instructors with the issuing of blue helmets and other gear that they need to do their job well. The delivery of the Strike Team Leader course to the regions, return of the much-loved Fireline Leadership Program, and a return and a beef up of our fire investigation training. We looked and adopted our LLN assessments for our language, numeracy and literacy testing of our members to ensure that we're able to understand where our members are, and so that we can provide tailored assistance to those who undertake our training and learning packages. We adopted the training policy to assist gaining consistency in how training is managed right across CFA. I want to thank everyone in the training team for your hard work throughout the year. It's been challenging, it's been tough, but you've stepped up to the mark and delivered for our people. I also want to thank our volunteers and members across the state for your patience. It's been a bit of a journey. Sometimes it doesn't quite work, and I know Rohan in the updates has constantly touched on some of the LMS struggles that we had. I'm pleased to report that a lot of that is stabilised now, but a big thanks to everyone for your patience there. One of the great things about being chief and the volunteer forums is we get to travel right across the state, talking to volunteers, hearing your stories about what matters to you most. In June, we went to Tyres Brigade, where I was introduced and got talking to 4th Lieutenant Jack Cowan, who told us about how he became involved with the CFA. In that process, Jack came up with the best recruitment slogan that we've heard for a very long time, and one that I'm sure could go second to our Give Us a Hand campaign.
Jack's been a bit quiet down the end of the table there. I think you might have a sterling mow there, my friend, but it's not going to protect you from the hard-hitting questions. Tell me about your role and how you got to become involved in the brigade and what you find good about being A, part of CFA and B, part of the Tyres Brigade.
Yeah, sure. So I joined early 2018, 2017. I came down from New South Wales, got married to my wife down here and moved down here. And I joined because I just wanted something to do in my spare time. I was just literally going to work, going home. My family's up in New South Wales and didn't have anyone down here, so I thought I needed to do something in my spare time. So decided, saw the sign at the servo, I said I'd give it a crack. And before I know it, I got a text message from Ross saying, come down, we have a meeting. And I haven't looked back. And at that point, we were, as Ross said earlier, we were at that point where we were just a bushfire brigade, where we were just doing that type of thing. And then Ross told me his vision of how he wanted to turn this brigade around. And he's like, Jack, we need more people like you to come in and have a fresh view and a fresh idea and build and train.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess, for anyone listening out there, you've heard it first from Jack. If you're ever wondering about being part of the CFA, just give it a crack, is a technical term. I love it. Hey, we've got the Give Us a Hand campaign. I reckon Mark II will be Give It a Crack. I think it's give it a crack.
Well, Jack, thanks for giving it a crack, and we encourage everyone across the state to also think about giving it a crack or giving a hand to CFA forming and becoming part of this great organisation. Of course, everything we do at CFA is focused on communities that we serve. So I think it's fitting to give the last word to the evening to the Pomonal resident who was significantly impacted by fire in February this year. At the September Forum, local business owner Sue McCaffer spoke about the gratitude that the community has for the CFA.
One more thing, and that's just to thank our CFA members, and from here in Pomonal, the people that are on the truck, but the people behind the scenes who are doing so much as well, and your whole CFA in Victoria for your support of our community. You saved a lot of people, as well, I know, as well as buildings and things in Pomonal, and I know that you'll stand up and do that again. So thank you from everyone in Pomonal.
Thank you very much. I know our members don't do it for want of thanks, but it's fantastic to hear from the community to which they seek to serve and protect that your heartfelt thanks and gratitude. So thank you very much.
So that's it for another year of the volunteer forums. So these forums don't happen without the contribution from everyone involved, whether it be the team behind the desk, all of the panellists, the brigade members that have come to watch, all the people who have put together the videos and the segments that we've played throughout the year. Thank you very much, and I want to finish off by saying stay safe this summer. It's already started to be a big one, and for no matter what you celebrate at whatever time of year, I wish everyone a very happy and safe holidays and ensure that you get the time to celebrate with your family and friends as we come to a close in 2024. So in the manner in which our friend will say goodbye, and I'll let you work out when that is, I'd like to finish this forum by saying thanks.
Well, what a fantastic show that we've got coming up tonight. Proud dad moment?
Yeah, very, very proud. Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we've been overrun by the juniors here in Beaconsfield.
On Glenn's lead.
2, 3.
The catchment commander for the Surf Coast. I could not think
It's a tough job, isn't it?
of a better job. And for anyone that doesn't know, Wayne's got a bit of an office upstairs in the Lord Fire Station. And I reckon, mate, you've got the best view of any officer in this organisation. Ocean views.
We'd like to seek some funding for a balcony.
Oh, I'm sure. Mal, I want you to pretend you're on the runway at Milan. Give us a rundown, a little twirl on the way back. Well done.
Very broad church that we are in CFA. You can't please everybody.
Brad, have we got any other questions from the audience? They're a quiet, cold bunch this evening. The temperature has significantly dropped by a few degrees here, so and the pizzas have arrived. Okay.
Or it could be taken that they're just very well informed in the northwest, so there they have no questions.
The jewel of the CFA, if he does say so himself. Thank you, Gavin.